Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks VGC, and today we're going to be getting into another episode of Spotlight. This will be episode 4. So today we're going to be highlighting the NAIC championship, one of the Pokemon that took home the championship, and that's going to be Dragapult. So why is Dragapult so good? This Pokemon is a very fast, hard-hitting, offensive Pokemon that you equip with the Choice Band. This is pretty much the set that won the NAIC championship this past weekend, and it was Dragon Darts, Terra Blast, Phantom Force, and U-Turn. I believe was the final move. They never showed the last move, but I do believe it was U-Turn. But this set is so powerful. So what makes this set so good? Using this next to Chien-Pao gives you that same versatility that you're similar to like Dragonite, but the difference is Dragapult it doesn't have to be locked into a priority move like E-Speed, going for going for Dragon Darts and Terra Blast and Phantom Force, rather than Dragonite has to go for E-Speed to outspeed things, right? Because Dragonite is usually not that fast. But Dragapult, while it doesn't get the priority, it does get some really good attacks. So Terra Blast with Ghost Terror is what I want to really touch on. So this was really good into like Flutter Mane and Pokemon that are like fairies that kind of want to get around the Dragon Darts, and they can't really take a Choice Band Terra Blast from Chien-Pao. And if it's not Booster Energy Flutter Mane, then it's pretty much just going down unless it's Focus Sash, right? And also the idea behind this is that you led this next to Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao was able to go for like an Ice Spinner to Flutter Mane, and it was like a Chi-Yu lead next to it. And the Dragon Dart, since Flutter Mane's a fairy type, both Dragon Darts went into the Chi-Yu and just instantly removed it from the field, right? So this set is like really, really threatening. And one thing that happened in the finals that was crazy was that this Dragapult only went for Phantom Force in one of the games, and it was literally knocking out everything. And it was able to Phantom Force before you can hit it, right? And you can't target that slot when it's gone while it's in the Phantom Force mode, because it's a 2-turn attack. And once it comes back, it can break through, protect, and hit you, right? And it's a powerful, even though it's only base power 190, it is stronger than Terra Blast, and it's doing like a lot of damage. In one shot of Arcanine, it did like 90% to Amoonguss, where super effective attacks usually don't even do that much to Amoonguss. And it's a really good call for this tournament. The Clear Body, helps you get around the Intimidate. So Chien-Pao can still be intimidated, but Dragapult won't be intimidated, similar to Dragonite. And I wouldn't say that this is better than Dragonite in my opinion, because Dragonite can work in and outside of Trick Room with the extreme speed, because you're not really worried about speed tiers. But this Dragapult can give you a different matchup for people that's trying to counter the Chien-Pao Dragonite hard. And just the Phantom Force it really impressed me with how much damage it does. And like, unless you have a normal type, you have no switching to it. Like, you can't protect in front of it. It's gonna hit you first because it's Dragapult's really fast, and there's nothing you can really do about it from that point. So that's why I did want to spotlight this Pokemon. I do believe that it's kind of gonna, I don't know how consistent it'll be in Regulation D carrying over. I think that this was the best format for it before, like, the Urshifus and the Rillabooms and all the a lot of different Pokemon that are really good in the ghost types. Like, Rillaboom is naturally bulky. It's gonna be able to take a Phantom Force, and they can just knock you off once you come back, right? And if you go for that Ghost Terror, it's probably gonna one-shot you. If Rillaboom has a lot of attack investment, Dragapult's not the bulkiest. And then Urshifu Dark, the Dark type is not really Dragapult's not really good into it. If you invest a little bit into the defense, then it can survive the Dragon Darts. And if you have a teammate, you're not going to one-shot Urshifu with the Dragon Darts. You're just going to one-shot you back with either a Sucker Punch or a Wicked Blow. So we'll see how it does in the new format. It is interesting, though, because ghost types there are a lot of good ghost types. Annihilate, Goldango, Flutter Mane, plus like Chien-Pao and Tornadus are going to be wanting to go Ghost Terror in the new format. A lot of things are going to try to go Ghost Terror in order to stop Dragonite. So we'll see how it does. But this Pokemon, it was very impressive. Just how fast it is, and how it, if Flutter Mane, just not, depending on what item was on the Flutter Mane, if it was not Focus Sash or Booster Energy speed boosting nature, then this Dragapult completely just dominated the Flutter Manes, right? They can't hit it because it's too fast. It can one-shot them, or it can, Phantom Force and pressure whatever you have coming in. It's just a really threatening combo next to Chien-Pao. It does so much damage. And Chien-Pao, like, you want to respect the Dragonite and go after it, but also if you focus down too hard on the Dragonite, then you're gonna have to worry about the Chien-Pao. And the Chien-Pao, you know, is still dealing damage. I did see an interesting set that I'm using, as well as what Joe UX was using, was the Ice Spinner, and then it was Ice Shard, right? Ice Shard and Crunch. So this is a little bit something different than the standard Chien-Pao set, which is Ice Spinner, Sucker Punch, or like Sacred Sword or Haze. And I thought this was pretty interesting, so I did try it on one of my teams, and it does come pretty handy. The Crunch into Gholdengo when it's trying to play around the Sucker Punch by going for a nasty plot is like really useful. The Ice Shard to just get around people trying to avoid Sucker Punches is really good. And I think that right now the Regulation C wasn't the format for this set, but the new format, Regulation D, I do believe that the Ice Shard is more useful with all the Tornadus and Thunderous and Landorus T, the Genies. They're all weak to Ice, and the Priority Ice against them is really good. Priority Ice against Ursaluna and Trick Room is really good. Priority Ice against Rillaboom is really good. There's a lot of new Pokemon that are weak to Ice, and also, you know, Amoonguss is also weak to Ice. So I think Chien-Pao is gonna really be like the most used Ruin Pokemon that's gonna be in the new format. I do think Dragonite is gonna still be the prominent teammate for it, but I'm interested to see how well Dragapult does. But Dragapult did have his shine here. It took home an international championship, and it has that under its belt. So we can't say that it wasn't good in Gen 9 because it had its standout. And I do believe this is the second time it's won. It actually won like a regional on like a Turco team, I think. I'm not sure. It was I think it was Justin Tang, his first championship that he won. Regional championship. He had Dragapult on his team too. So it took home, you know, 2 championships in this season. So, you know, Dragapult's here. It's showing that it can't be ignored and it can't be overlooked. If it is brought, then you need to be prepared for it and have something to deal with it. But that's going to be it for this episode. If you like it, go ahead and drop a comment below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and I will catch you all in the next one. All right, deuces.